101.3 PRX Paris Fort Smith.
Jerome, put on that Bobby Womack.
Nah, girl, I want to go way back. Oh, yeah, check this out.
3 now, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 trying to dribble, 2 seconds, 1 second, long
Jay with the ball. He is number 10. Swings inside with the top of the circle. Not there. Gets his own rebound. Puts it in. 3 seconds to go. There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Eddie going the distance. Yes! Looks up. Drive it in. May for the win. With 3 seconds to go. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins. It's Butler with 2 seconds. He's got to put 6. He wins it with the chipper.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson. This is The Morning Rush.
Think about the years I was raised.
All right, so it's a Time Travel Tuesday. Colton Little, Ty Richardson, Tommy back with us tomorrow, and it syncs up pretty good with the fact that you saw one of the best NCAA tournament shots we've ever seen from a UConn player that sent the Huskies to their third Final Four in 4 years. Pretty remarkable. He's going back home to Indiana, Mr. Basketball. Mullins, pretty wild, that sequence. But Arkansas's had some good ones. I had forgotten in 1990, Todd Day hit a shot, I believe, in the round of 32 against Dayton that kept the Razorbacks from going to OT and advancing to their first Final Four under Coach Richardson. Now, of course, Coach Sutton and company took them in 78, but that was Coach Richardson's Final Four. U.S. Reed shot, probably the most notable shot in the history of Arkansas basketball in terms of the postseason outside of Scotty's. But there's been plenty of good ones. I mean, you think about the ones that we've just had this year. Mullins is the most significant, but you had Kaufman-Ren's tip in to send Purdue to the Elite Eight. Darling made that layup to get St. John's by Kansas. So just 3 this year. I don't know where that stacks up year by year, but we've had some good ones. And I was going back and doing some research on this morning. Mullins isn't number 1. You got to give it to one of the national championship shots, either Chris Jenkins against North Carolina or Lorenzo Charles, the tip-in. And I would say I would put Jenkins above that, even though NC State, the Wolfpack, and the late Coach Valvano, that was the bigger upset. But it was an air ball miss, and he dunked it. Jenkins was like a 30-footer for the win.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of differ if we're ranking them here this morning.
The Jenkins one was crazy because just before that, I think I'm trying to remember his name. I think it was Page from North Carolina.
Marcus Page.
He hit the one that was off balance, like he had the double clutch hit that 3 just to get the game to be tied. But to hit a shot to win the national championship, I mean, that's the stuff that dreams are made of. That's what you do in your backyard when you're alone and it's just you and a hoop. That's you in your room, with the Nerf mini hoop, just drawing up scenarios. That's the thing that you dream of, that every basketball player that steps onto a court wants to do every single time they get that opportunity. So to hit that shot in that moment, Chris Jenkins, that one will forever be cemented into my mind. Jim Nance featured in a lot of those calls this morning. He's had a front row seat to some of the best game winners in March Madness history.
Yeah, and
that was crazy.
He took a step down from that role. That's why Ian Eagles, the lead broadcaster, along with Bill Raftery and
no fall off there, though.
And Grant Hill. He will not be stepping down from Augusta National and the Masters coming up anytime soon. That'll be something he does till they honestly probably put him in the ground. But so good memories here on a Time Travel Tuesday. We've got a lot to discuss. We'll kind of get into the specifics coming up in a bit. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by the Inn at the Mill in Northwest Arkansas. 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. Place that we as a staff like to stay. We've had so many listeners that have stayed there and always have a great time. It's close to everything. It's close enough to campus. It kind of beat off the Johnson exit. You can get to Springdale easily. It's close to Rogers, close to Benville. It's close to it all. 479-443-1800. They've got a great staff, Jennifer and the team there, plus those homemade cookies. And it's quaint, but at the same time nice. It's kind of that perfect in the middle of what you're looking for in Northwest Arkansas. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. So do you have one? I've got you plugged in plenty of those in our open here on a Time Travel Tuesday. Do you have one that is it the Jenkins that is number one on the list, or is there another maybe lesser game that it just is always in your mind. Like Gordon Hayward's missed shot in 2010 is my most memorable, just of how close it was. You could talk about Tanner this year, Tyler Tanner's shot that should have beaten Nebraska, but the overinflated balls, which would have been something that Vanderbilt would have played over and over again. But it's just that this is a different time of year, and not to say there hasn't been game-winning shots in NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs over the years, but I just feel like they're amplified, especially when a Cinderella team or a lesser seed beats the team that they're not supposed to.
One that wasn't in the March Madness tournament per se, but was a game winner, I do believe. The Kemba Walker step back on Pitt in that Big East tournament, I believe back in the day, early 2000, maybe late 2000s.
2011.
2011s or early 2010s. That one was one that sticks in my mind because I was watching that one live, and I was just like, man, I'm going to go out and buy a Kemba Walker jersey and save up my money, like from lawn mowing. Like, Kemba Walker was that dude for hitting that shot. So that's one that always sticks out to me, but you would be hard-pressed to find just a more impactful shot for me than Chris Jenkins hitting that shot for Villanova against North Carolina. That is just, like I said, it's what dreams are made of. I put this on the rundown this morning, and then I deleted it because I had to go do a little bit of a history check. But the new Colorado State head coach, Ali Farouk-Manesh, I thought that he hit a game winner for Northern Iowa, but it wasn't a game winner against Kansas. It was just to put them up a little bit more with less than 10 seconds to go. So I put that one on there, then quickly deleted it because it doesn't fit into the criteria of a true game winner.
And that was, so they're up one. I remember that game. They're up one. Kansas is the number one seed. Might have been the defending national champion at that point, if I remember that correctly, because I think that was the team in 2009. And he hit a shot. There's like 30 seconds left on the clock, and you're taught in that situation to bring the ball back out, get fouled. Well, he jacks a three and buries it, and upset. I believe the defending national champion. So very much that memory that you just brought up is definitely ingrained in my head. Hey, speaking of March Madness games, whether it's game winners or just you're just excited about the Final Four this weekend, which we'll talk about a little more. The Final Four bracket is up right now on hitthatline.com. So you've got a chance to win not only a motorcycle for Mach 1 Motorsports, but there's so many other prizes. Again, go to hitthatline.com/bracket. It's our ESPN Arkansas Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. And again, the Final Four bracket, if your bracket's messed up, I got 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four, so I was decently satisfied, but I'm going to have with Houston in my championship game. That's going to get Nick. So who do you think is going to win this weekend? Is it going to be the Fighting Illini that get by? Why am I blanking on who they're playing?
Yeah, they got UConn.
Are they going to get by the Huskies? Or is it Arizona or Michigan that are representing the other side for the national championship game? Hitthatline.com/bracket. Wouldn't be possible without Twin Peaks and Rogers, Swift's Jewelry, Butler Furniture, and Moix RV in Arkansas. Again, hitthatline.com/bracket. So that's the basketball ahead this weekend. The good news is we have basketball on tonight. Now, it's a little different than what you've been watching the NCAA tournament. You got 2 Razorbacks that are playing tonight.
I'm just looking forward to the competition. I know JJ's really good at what he does, but I'm also really excited to just, compete with the best of the best. And I feel like JJ, he's proved to be one of the best in the country by just being here at this event. And I love competition. I love having fun. And I feel like JJ will put up a really good challenge for me to just have fun and just compete at a high level.
We're dogs. We're both physical. We're both strong. We always make jokes about who's the stronger one. It's just a fun time. We're going to have fun flying around, talking smack, and that's just going to carry over to Arkansas, us becoming even better teammates.
This is the opening drive.
So that's J.J. Andrews, son of Sean Andrews, who did a cool thing that we're going to get into, paying homage to his dad last night, and then Jordan Smith, who is the highest rated player that John Calipari has got to not just commit, but sign with the Razorbacks in his tenure. So Boogie, you think about the timeline of point guards. Boogie, pretty highly rated. Darius, really highly rated. Jordan's the number 2 player in his class. The current 1 player, Tyron Stokes, is yet to commit. It's down between the Wildcats and the Jayhawks. It looks like he's going to Lawrence, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
See what Bill Self does.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with there. There's another kid. Let's see. Who's the help me on the kid that hasn't committed. Brandon McCoy hasn't decided yet. Personally, this is nothing against Brandon. I would rather him go elsewhere and Arkansas use that money on a big man in the transfer portal. But I'm not John Calipari. I'm not the rest of that coaching staff. I'm not the GM. we'll kind of have to wait and see what shakes out. But Cal, you heard that term, and I forget if JJ or Jordan used it, the physicality. And if you look at JJ Andrews, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched as many Jordan Smith highlights, but this kid doesn't look like a true freshman's body. It helps when you have the genes and the lineage of an all-pro
offensive tackle
and Sean Andrews, which is just awesome. And the fact that he's as skilled. Apparently, Matt tells us that Sean was an unbelievable basketball player too. But that is what Cal has talked about with these freshmen coming in. And I just think about like the possibilities, right? If Billy comes back, you can put Billy at the 2 if you really want to. Billy at like 6'5". You can have JJ at the 3, 6'6", 6'7". If you get an actual like some girth at the power forward. I know some people think that Malik should use to the 4 because he can shoot a little bit, and maybe you develop his outside game and then get like a 7-footer. I just love the possibility of having a really, really thick and long lineup this upcoming season.
Nothing wrong with being thick and long, especially when you're playing defense, and that's what they need this year because, they just got to be a little bit more stout defensively, whether it be, wider with their wingspan or taller when they stick their hands up or, a little bit stronger down low so they don't get back down in the paint. That's definitely one thing that everybody that's talked about this team going forward has surmised and that we all kind of know is going to be one of the big focal points of roster building for next year. But, man, those two cats also, they're really well-spoken, and they're incredibly fun to listen to and watch play. So I think Razorback fans are going to be able to find two really like-minded individuals in Jordan Smith Jr. and J.J. Andrews that are going to compete and get the best out of each other, and that's what I think is really good, too. And you mentioned it, Ty. These guys, they don't look like freshmen. And when you've been playing – what is, AAU and all these overtime elite, and you've been playing in these like really large, arenas for your whole entire career since you were probably 12, 13 years old on the travel circuit playing basketball, you do develop a little bit more than, what we've seen in the past. So that is a good thing, but there's still some pieces they got to find out and figure out, how it's going to plug into next year. But those two guys right there, along with Abdou Toure, that's going to be really exciting to watch, that trio of freshmen.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too, and just what it could be this.
They got the kind of the teams are uneven though. Jordan Smith Jr. is up against like four of the other top 5 recruits. He's kind of by himself.
Yeah,
so we'll just have that dog.
Well, 8:00 tonight, ESPN. If you want to watch two future Razorbacks get it going. We got a text here before we talk with our buddy Bruce Stanton. We're not going to do the Pradco Pyramid of Power today, being that the SEC teams have all been eliminated, and we'll get to baseball next week. But we'll talk with Bruce about Will Wade and some other things going on. We did get this text from Sean in Bologna asking about Beckham Black, who's Anthony's younger brother. Beckham is a class of 2027. Right now, he's yet to commit anywhere. Arkansas has offered him. He's the number 3 point guard according to the number 3 player according to 24/7 Sports. So he is highly ranked. He's even higher ranked than AB was, which is saying something.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you that this kid's not as long. AB was 6'7", Beckham's 6'3". But Sean, I wonder about that too because like AB is not from here. His dad it's Terry went to Baylor, played at Baylor. He ended up choosing Arkansas over Gonzaga. But AB seems to really like Fayetteville.
Yeah.
And he really liked his time in just a year here. He's come back, I think, not just once, but a couple times since he has made it to the NBA, and he's doing bright things for the Orlando Magic. So I don't know how much of an influence he has on his younger brother, but I would love to see Beckham end up here in Fayetteville. But I'd be lying if I knew anything about his possible recruiting process and if he was going to end up coming here or not. All right, so give an outline of today. We could talk more about Jordan Smith and J.J. Andrews in a little bit. You heard some good memories. I know there's some bad memories, some last-second shots with the Razorbacks that we can also discuss as well. Had a chance to listen to Coach Wilson yesterday, and he shared something I didn't know about one of the players for Arkansas. We can chat with Tom Murphy about that coming up in a bit. Mentioned Will Wade being introduced with the LSU Tigers yesterday in the PMAC. Arkansas baseball back in action against Missouri State tonight. Hopefully they bounce back. Some NFL news, credit card notifications on your phone. Again, I'm just kind of running through the rundown this morning, so we will get to all that coming up in just a bit. But I do want to welcome in our buddy Bruce Stanton, who just had a time in Florida. Bruce, what was the best part about the Key West trip, man?
Oh, best part about Key West was watching Dr. Y.N. Stanton reel in yellowtail snapper and getting to eat them at the hurricane hole. I mean, anytime your wife catches fish and she's happy as a fisherman, that makes you happy.
We mentioned that last week. So the place that Bruce referred to, and how do you say it? You catch it, they cook it. There's a term.
That's it.
That's kind of cool. I've never I've heard about those places, but I've never seen one. So I'm glad you guys got to experience that, and hopefully at some point in time I'll.
Well, it's a Key West vibe. You bring in a stack of fish in a plastic bag. You lay it on the bar. Tell the bartender how you want them cooked. You can get them blackened, filleted, grilled, fried, and then you get your black beans and rice, and you sit there and eat that stuff right on the dock. It's awesome.
Well, Bruce, we got basketball Monday night and Saturday for the Final Four, and then the national championship a few days later. No SEC teams a part of it. You had the highest output of teams to ever make the NCAA tournament with 14. You win the national championship, Florida. This wasn't a down year. Tennessee once again makes an Elite Eight. I know you were happy about that. You're still trying to bust through that glass ceiling. But how would you characterize SEC basketball this year coming off the heels of a national championship game?
It was overrated nationally. The Big Ten was better. The top teams in the other conferences were better. I think our league's very balanced, and I think our league was very good, but we weren't the best league. We had one team make the Elite Eight. Florida was our number one. They underperformed. They didn't have Walter Clayton Jr. But I'd say it was a disappointing year, even though you got that many teams in. When you watch the runs that like Iowa went on and Illinois, some of their mid-level teams, Purdue, they outperformed us, no doubt.
What did you think about the addition of Will Wade? And I know there's been there were rumblings, and then it's happening, and he gets introduced last night. We're going to play some audio coming up in a little later on the show. But back in Baton Rouge, you think about Oates, you think about Golden. Outside of Arkansas, the disdain for John Calipari. Another guy that people seem to dislike that's coming back to the SEC.
Well, Will broke the rules when you couldn't break the rules. I mean, in this environment, if he gets NIL and he can pay players and not have to lie about it, then I guess that's legal now. So he'll fit right in with the current NIL system. You just kind of get that slimy feeling like you do with Nate Oates. So probably apropos that they're in the SEC together, and they'll get to play each other every year in the Slime Bowl. So that's probably all I can say about that.
Yeah, that contest, because I know that Todd Golden was kind of rivaling.
He wants to put himself in there too.
Yeah, rivaling Nate Oates for Arkansas's most disliked coach, and now Will Wade, if I could say it, Will Wade is tossing his hat back in the ring. So I know we've got several days till Saturday, but this will be the last time you with us, and then we'll react to the championship game Monday. But you got two powerhouses in the Michigan Wolverines and Arizona Wildcats, which some believe is the actual national championship game. And then on the flip side, a UConn team that just won one of the more miraculous comeback games I've ever watched against an Illinois team that maybe underperformed a little bit in the regular season, but has come on during the postseason. Who do you like this upcoming weekend, Bruce?
Well, I picked Michigan in my bracket. I actually picked them to beat Tennessee, so I got that one right, actually. But, Michigan, I mean, they're stacked. They got a good coach. Dusty May made the Final Four at Florida Atlantic, so he's with a blue blood program, and he's got blue blood players. They just seem a little more physical, a little more higher level than everyone else in the Final Four right now. The only thing I'd say is don't underestimate the Danny Hurley team. I mean, those guys don't quit. They think they're supposed to win. They play to win, and they're killers. I mean, so to me, a Michigan UConn final would be fun to watch, but probably give the edge to Michigan right now.
You think it's one? Think about it. His one loss in the last 4 years was to the national champion in Florida this last season. The other element to all this, and you mentioned the Big Ten. You got two Big Ten schools that have basketball tradition and the funding necessary to compete. You've got a really good Big 12 program in Arizona that won it all, and that seems to have the resources. But how about the Big East program that, while they have a lot of backing and history with Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie won one, but they don't get the conference revenue distribution, Bruce. I think that is a huge deal when you think about they've had success since NIL started.
Well, they've won 6 natties since '99, I think. So, when you look at UConn men and women, they're you kind of set them aside from the rest of the Big East. They're just kind of their own planet, so to speak. They want to win in basketball. They fund it. They paid their coaches well. They have Hall of Fame coaches that have won multiple natties, and that's what they care about up there. So, despite being in the Big East, which is probably a little stronger now with Pitino at St. John's, but obviously they don't face the grind that maybe a Big Ten or an SEC team does. But no doubt they get the talent, and no doubt they're well coached.
Well, Bruce, you're a broken bow this morning. What are we fishing with?
Well, we're on a Yum Dinger pattern, 5-inch Yum Dinger, wacky rig. Fish are getting up to spawn. Full moon's tomorrow. So the full moon in April is typically the Super Bowl for bass fishermen. If you love bass fishing, this is your time of year. We got a windy day today. It's blowing 27 miles an hour, gusting. So Booyah covert spinnerbait, double willow. I'm burning it probably midway from the point back to the backs of the pockets. And then when I get to the back of the pocket, I'm throwing either a wacky rig 5-inch Yum Dinger or a 6-inch Yum Thumping Dinger on a 1/8-ounce War Eagle jig head. And we're catching a lot of largemouth, a lot of spotted bass, and some smallmouth doing the same thing. And fish are getting right up, 2 feet to a foot to spawn. You're seeing a lot of beds, and that just makes life awesome for a bass fisherman. So we get bass fever like buck hunters get buck fever. So, the best way to handle it is just don't go to work tomorrow and go fishing.
Well, I'll let you go, man, and get back to it. Bruce, good to catch up, man. It's been too long.
All right, good talking to y'all.
All right, Bruce Dan, Pradco Fishing. Hog update when we return on the Morning Rush.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
It seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those Google
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Nature. This is the Morning Rush.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground, priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bend, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Come on, pig!
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog. The Philadelphia Eagles. And son is honoring dad, putting on shoulder pads and a helmet.
But here's the thing. He's already got props. He's got Jordan Smith Jr. and Brandon McCoy Jr. on the floor, but he's not going to jump over these guys, so it looks like he's going to run a play.
Hunt. Busting through the line. And T.J. Andrews throws it down. Touchdown.
Now, you want to talk about creativity. We've seen a lot of things happen in dunk contests previously, but for the first time ever, We have watched an actual football play be run for a 360 dunk at the rim.
If you haven't watched the video of Deshaun JJ doing it last night, it's pretty cool. They've got practices. They've got this event last night, and the actual game itself is 8 o'clock on ESPN tonight. His future teammate, Jordan Smith Jr., who's his competitor, who's on the other end tonight in the East versus West competition. Colton brought up earlier, there's more talent on the West side than there is the East side, but cool of them to join, and that makes you wonder, it's like, all right, Brandon McCoy's involved. What does that mean? Does that mean that those two are trying to pitch him on the idea of coming to Arkansas? You've got 3 guys already signed. This guy's undecided. Maybe I'm reading in between the lines, but I just thought that was interesting that he participated in JJ's stunt last night.
Well, I don't think you're reading too far in between the lines. That's a pretty good guess to make. I mean, in my opinion, those guys getting involved with him, that's a guy that's uncommitted. So maybe, they're trying to pitch him, hey, come to Arkansas. But like you said earlier, last segment, I'm not sure if I want that either. That's a lot of freshmen. They're going to be, becoming your core. And we've seen in the past here recently that freshmen are great. Mm-hmm. They're fun to watch, but they can't always get it done in crunch time.
And I said, so I remember having this conversation with Nate Ament last year, who ended up in Knoxville at Tennessee and a really good freshman season. Mm-hmm. And I said, I remember specifically being like, look, this kid's talented, would love to have him, but if you told me, hey, I've got a choice at this kid or a big physical post presence, I'm taking the latter. And he ends up in Knoxville and didn't matter. And the same situation involves McCoy, like shooting guard, top 15 kid out of high school, could be a really good player in the future. But if you have your choice, if you have your druthers between one or the other, guard play hasn't been an issue. I know they weren't great offensively 2 years ago, but they were this year. They were prolific. They had the most dunks in college basketball. Darius and Malik gave us some really, really fun things to watch this season. But you got pounded in certain games when you played high-caliber competition. And we want to get rid of that somehow, some way. All right, keeping your SEC update, or excuse me, your Hog update going this morning. Speaking of getting pounded, I know that Arkansas baseball, pitchers-wise, didn't have their best outing this weekend.
Yeah, it was one of the worst pitch games we've pitched here in a long time.
DB8 was very, very blunt, very straightforward after some of the losses. First time they've been swept since 2016. Hopefully they get it together and figure it out tonight against Missouri State, which is a really good mid-major opponent. Both teams have lost heading into this game. Missouri State's got a loss, and then Arkansas's lost 3 straight. Haven't lost at home all season. So you're in Springfield tonight, and then you get a return trip when you come back to Baum-Walker Stadium. I think it's the 21st, if I remember that right. So hopefully Arkansas can get it together tonight and bounce back. It's not the end of the world they lose, but heading into Auburn, you really don't want 4 straight losses going up against an opponent that's right where you are in the SEC standings in the Auburn Tigers. Congrats to Peyton Paulette, who made his MLB debut, the 67th Razorback to do so in the history of the school. And no surprise, between Norman Bryan and Dave Van Horn, you've had a lot of talent that's come through this program, and that's going to continue to be the case. All right, that is your Hog update this morning. It is brought to you by our friends at APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. You could be working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job. They've got you covered. 479-587-3300 for your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. That's APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Baseball, by the way, tonight is on ESPN Plus, and it's on ESPN Radio on most of these stations as well. So just I know some of you might have some difficulty figuring that out tonight, and hopefully that is a non-issue, but I know I don't have ESPN Plus, so I will be listening. Not that I don't like to listen to Phil, but I will be listening to Phil regardless. Also going to listen to our guy, David Rath, who comes in now with Rath Mitsubishi and Rath Auto Resources. David, it is the last day of March, man. What does that mean at both your locations?
Hey, we're trying to wrap up here, especially here at the Mitsubishi store. You know, we've still got that 0% for 72 months on the handful of remaining 25 Outlanders that we've got. So that incentive ends today. So anybody that's been, a lot of folks look for that. They look for that end of model year clearance kind of savings. And I mean, we got them, and we got some really nice trims, and we got a few with some excellent equipment out here. And yeah, folks can come in, save a ton of money that way. Get 0% for 72 months with approved credit on one of these things. And, 10-year warranty, 2-year complimentary maintenance, best backed vehicles in the country. would save a ton of money in the process.
So just to be clear, what is 72 months in years?
6 years.
6 years. 6 years.
Yeah,
That's a long
6
time
years,
where you're
zero
not paying interest, man.
Yeah.
A long time. Okay. Well, David, I know you got a busy day, so we'll let you go. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, Mikey Car Care Centers, both locations. I like the one in Fort Smith. Takes care of me every single time. All right, David, I know Larry's going to be on you to get back to work, so we'll let you get to it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, that's our buddy David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi. All right, when we come back, Morning Rush Daily Question. I got a new credit card. Colton, how many credit cards do you have?
1.
Okay, I have 4. How many credit cards do you have? I got the 4th one last night, and there's a rationale or reason behind that.
To pay the other ones
How?
off?
Yeah, well, no, it's I actually have good credit.
I believe you.
How many credit cards do you have, and what kind do you have? We'll get into that. That's your Morning Rush Daily Question coming up in just a bit. We continue on a Time Travel Tuesday next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that Hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville.
But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those www Google
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Yeah, it was one of the worst pitch games we've pitched here in a long time.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. We've been hard at work getting ready for warmer weather, and we've put our best roster of road-ready certified pre-owned cars on the ground. Priced to move and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing playbook, and the nation's best lenders, Rath's got the River Valley's deepest bench ready to take all the hassle out of getting your next ride. Don't settle for just any used car. Make the switch to Road Ready Certified and save some green this spring at Rath Auto Resources. Voted best pre-owned cars in the River Valley. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Taco Bell's Let's Boxes are going to people's heads. Because once they experience the refined $5 bots, opulent $7 bots, and indulgent $9 bots with the new Crispy Chicken Crunch Wrap Slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lutz.
Home, James.
You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
Hey everyone, Wes Thompson here, General Manager of Moix RV Hot Springs Landing. The RV show is over, but we're going into overtime. We're slashing prices on the brands you love. Grand Design, Brinkley, Alliance, and more. Plus, right now, grab up to a $2,000 shopping spree on select units. Don't wait. Your next adventure starts at 2621 East Grand Avenue or online at moixrv.com. We have the RVs.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
If you work the land, Wheeler Power Sports and Kawasaki want to work for you. The Kawasaki Agriculture Sales Program is delivering exclusive farmer incentives on Kawasaki off-road vehicles. Save $250 on a brute force. Save $500 on Kawasaki mules. And $750 on Kawasaki Ridges. This program runs through March 31st, and it can be combined with any other Kawasaki promotion. All you need is a registered farm ID, ag tag, exemption, or co-op membership. Wheeler Power Sports in historic downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, we're up to credit card number 4. And I know that sounds bad, and it sounds like I have a problem, but I have a rationale and a reason behind that. So when you initially start with a credit card, you get one that's no annual fee, minimal benefits, because you just want to, you just want to start building your credit, right? And then you take a step forward because there's another one, you have it for a couple years, and it's not as much of a ding on your credit. And I've actually built up, and because I pay everything, like I pay it before it's due, just because I'm neurotic in a nut factory.
Mm-hmm.
I will rarely wait till even the auto pay date. So I pay it before the auto pay date, and then I check the auto pay to make sure that there's nothing I owe or anything. So I'm lucky where I have built up a decent credit score. But
what is it?
It's slightly under 8. It's slightly under 8.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Man.
it's good because
Loan me
again,
some money?
I don't spend a ton of money, and I also try and pay everything back. But I wonder, like, 4 to some of you might seem crazy. Ryan, this is nuts to me. He doesn't have a single credit card.
Straight cash, homie.
And my whole thing is, like, I obviously don't want to get into debt. Listen to Dave Ramsey too many times to want to go down that road. And I guess technically my mortgage is debt, so maybe I didn't listen hard enough. I can't fork over the amount of money needed for the house. But how many credit cards do you have? Colton, we'll start with you. I'm on number 4. In fact, I'm going to get number 5 because I want the lounge in Exit A. The card that I got doesn't allow for that, so I'm going to get another one just so I can go to the lounge at Exit A.
That's why you want another credit card?
Well, it pays for itself. Like, there's one has an annual fee of $395, the other one's $895, but when you look at all the perks, it pays for itself. Walmart Plus, Lululemon, and there's all this stuff that they give you, and it's like, well, it's like 5 times what I'm actually paying the annual fee. Ryan says 0. How many credit cards do you have?
One credit card. It's a Discover card, and I think, there's like a $2,000 limit on there. I can barely spend any money. So, I'm pretty sure I have good credit because I've paid that, and I also have a car note that I pay, and I pay that on time. I don't do it beforehand like you. I'm not that neurotic. But I think I have pretty decent credit, but I I don't want to get 3 or 4 or 5 credit cards. That's just another thing that I have to keep track of and pay.
But there's so many perks, so many awards that come with it.
I know that there's perks, and there's plenty of good perks. Like I think I get 5% cash back this month on Amazon purchases. So my wife's probably going crazy on that right now. So
nice.
Maybe I'll get some of that money back later on. But I know about there's the fact that there's perks, but I'm also really young, and credit cards, stuff like that. Some of that stuff I try my best to avoid. Just pay out of pocket, pay for cash for things, use my debit card. I don't have a lot of money. I can't just get enough.
That's why you have a credit card.
No, that's not how it works. You can't just swipe that thing willy-nilly. I tried
swipe
the
the
first
card,
month
swipe
I had
it now, worry about it later.
No,
it's a great philosophy.
I've done that in the past, and it's gotten me into some trouble. So I could probably see myself getting 1 or 2 more. I'm going to have one here eventually because the child is not getting any cheaper by the day. He's actually getting more and more expensive. So I'm sure I'll have to have one to, pay for all the travel ball trips and things like that, 80 packs of Gatorade, and you want to join this team and you're going to suck and it's going to be fine.
Oh, what? Listen, you can ask Tommy. Tommy's on the cheerleading circuit.
Man.
I don't think Dylan's in travel sports, but ask about the crock and the racket that is travel sports.
I know it's a racket.
Because the amount of money that is spent, and I say this as someone that used to play travel soccer, and this was back 20 years ago. My dad forked over a good amount of money then for a kid that was never going to do anything productive beyond high school, or really, let's just call a spade, beyond middle school for that matter. And I didn't appreciate, no one appreciates what their parents do until you're actually an adult. 2, I didn't realize how much money was being forked over at the time for any travel sport. And now it's just gotten baseball and basketball and football. I mean, there's travel sports for everything. So I do not envy the parents that are forking over their life savings. Hogwild says, life advice from Ty Richardson. Credit cards are good with you. Credit card perks are good with you.
Perks are good.
Big.
So what kinds do you have? I mean, you got Wells Fargo.
Listen, the initial one I got was a Capital One Quicksilver, which is 1.5%. And then my
what's in your wallet?
And then my financial advisor, Eric Mabry, Halo Wealth Management, advised me to get the Wells Fargo one, which is 2%, which is 0.5% more.
There you go.
So I did. Didn't close the Quicksilver one. Then I got my dad advised me to get this American Airlines one through Barclays, which is now being turned to Citi, and that was 80,000 points. And you can get 2 flights for $800. Yeah, and so I had that. Well, they're changing over to Citi, and then I get frustrated that I can't get any of these lounges because my card's not good enough. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing away with the lesser Capital One, and I'm going up because I paid it off. Now, there's an annual fee associated with it, but it's worth it because of all the rewards and perks you get. And then I realized like I said, the X&A one doesn't accept that Capital One, so I had to get this other one. Plus, you get all these. Listen, the perks are worth it. If you just stay diligent and pay it off, I feel like it's worth it. Big Mike, I would love to hear this call, Big Mike. My mother's credit was so good, she walked in the bank in the 80s and walked out with $2,000 just using her name. I don't have that luxury, Big Mike, but that is a pretty big deal.
Are you shooting for like the Amex, like one of those?
It is an Amex. It is an Amex.
So you can slide it across the bar and it goes.
It's not the black. No one has the black, but this thing's thick.
Is it gold? Is it flashing?
No, it's silver.
Yeah.
It's silver, and I say that
Yeah.
I have to apply for it tonight, but it's on the agenda.
That's gonna look so good coming out of your wallet in the club light, just hitting it just right. Like, hey, ladies, it's on me. Right
Robert
here, Ty Richardson, 784 credit score.
Robert says he has the Citi Double Cash one. It's a $5,000 limit. 1 cash back when you pay, 1 cash back when he spends. Yeah, that's a good one. The limits, my limit's not that high, but it is nice to have. So,
but you have another one that has a higher limit.
Well, and the last thing on this before we get into some football stuff, I thought there was a couple funny Ryan Silverfield clips, and we can get into Coach Hicks and Coach Wilson yesterday. The other element to this is I'm going to like the two lesser credit cards that I've had for years. I'm going to pay it all off, drain the rewards. No, not close it because that dings your credit score. And I'm going to lock them both. So I'm not getting dinged for either of those, but I'm going to have 3 predominant credit cards and 2 in the holster in case something goes awry.
There you go.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Again, advice on the Morning Rush is not always advised to listen to. I'm just telling you about.
He's not a financial advisor.
I
he
am
has
not.
one of his own.
Which honestly, I can't believe I trust him with my money either. But that's another story. Cart Pass Social. Someone that I do trust, Nate And I do trust Eric. Just saying. I'm just messing with him because he can do that. Nate Garahan, Christian Olsen, two other buddies I trust, actually all went to school together, and they did a fantastic job establishing Cart Pass Social, which is over a year and a half old. It's crazy to think how fast time is flying with Cart Pass Social. The Masters Invitational is still going on. That's all the way up through April the 12th. I know they're giving away the first green jacket and permanent plaque for first place. It's BYOB. I say the first. They did this last year. It's BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Bring in your beer, bring in your seltzers and snacks. You can host team events and socialize and more. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622, or go to cartpasssocial.com. It is always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. With basketball season concluding here, there are more people that are going to pay attention to rumblings and tidbits and snippets from football. I was listening to a few Hog Plus clips.
Did you say, can I get the ugliest shoes you make and let me wear them? Mine are pretty fire.
So I thought Pittman had a sense of humor. And Coach Silverfield just playing with his couple players and messing around, joking with A.J. Hill.
Is the visor just so no one sees how ugly you are?
I mean, I actually was laughing listening to some of that this morning. You're in the midst of maybe the worst stretch in Arkansas football history. And when you think about what they've been the last decade and a half or so, it's in terms of, at least in the modern era, I can't tell you about the 40s and some various things before Coach Broyles. But you've got this young guy on campus that's trying to figure things out. And you're not kind of getting acclimated with some coaches. And a lot of you really won't pay attention to the fall, which is fine. But I actually enjoyed some of the clips that I listened to yesterday. And I also, you know what else I enjoy, Colton?
What?
The Hot Wings thing that they're doing with Quincy Rhodes. I think that's kind of, have you watched any of that?
I've seen a little bit of it. I saw him and Caden Kittler. I think that was the original one that they did this season. That was pretty good. Very interesting. Very good. Interesting.
I thought they've done a good job with that. I think it's based on the Hot Ones that they've. Who does that again? I forget the guy's name.
Sean something or other. He's a great interviewer.
Yeah, and they have various people on. They've had Shaquille O'Neal, and all these different other famous actresses and actors and athletes, and it's entertaining. But it had Jaheim Johnson on yesterday, who they called Joker, and he talked about the challenge with Quincy.
I mean, it was pretty cool. It was good opportunity to learn Quincy a little bit better. Good opportunity for the fans to get to know who I am. The chicken nugget was good, So I think it was just team bun. It was pretty good.
You didn't have much trouble with the hottest one, the number 6?
Nah. It was the fifth one that gave me the fifth one gave me much trouble.
What do you think of Kittler? I'm not sure if he even had milk.
You heard Tom asking that question out there. We can have some fun with Tom, who's going to join us in about 10 minutes from now. What level do you think you could reach, Colton?
I could go up, I think, a little bit. If I had a nice glass of milk, I think I could pace myself. I like spicy food. Spicy hot wings, too. They sound like I can get down with some of that. It's all a mental thing. All mental.
There was a challenge prior to Arkansas taking on Arizona in the Sweet 16 game in San Jose. We went to this burger place, and there was this burger challenge. And I'm thinking to myself, should I do this before the biggest game of the season and the chance that I put myself out? I was like, it's not the best idea. But I think about like various challenges like the hot ones and having to do some of these without milk or water. Mm-hmm. Like, I would rather have to eat more of a food than do one of the hot challenges without a liquid of some sort. And I know water doesn't help. You need some heat, milk or dairy to help with the, I don't know if they're glands or what they are, but I did get a kick out of the fact that some of these guys did it without milk, like Caden Kittler apparently did.
I tell you this, I say that I could do it, but the thing is, I would get to probably one of the the more spicy ones, and I'm so dumb. I would just start rubbing my eyes and stuff like that. I would I would compound the problem by making it worse and putting that hot sauce in places where it's not designed to go.
Well, speaking of hot sauce, I know there's a lot of good things hot-wise at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, like the Wild West Burger, which is topped with hot link and jalapenos, plus the Art's hot sauce.
Delicious.
It's good. I've had it. The brisket burger's good. They all their burgers are really good. Their barbecue's good. The kickin' chicken's good. It's all good at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, including the Art Attack Burger with house bacon, smoked ham, and onion ring, and a fried egg. Their salads are really good. Tommy always talks about those. I don't know if he actually gets them, but he at least talks about them. I always go for the burger. That's what I get. I say the burgers. That's always good. They have like smoked Reuben, smoked Phillies on specials from time to time. Whatever you get, it's Arts. It's awesome. And I still owe my dad Arts, thanks to Baylor.
You owe me Arts, too.
Do I owe you Arts?
I don't know, but maybe you might think
Okay,
you do.
well, I owe my dad Arts. Arts Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Tom Murphy next.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback, the only local family and Arkansas alumni Razorback store in the state.
And the Stadium Shop is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, it seems there's always a Razorback sporting event happening.
And if you need something new for your home, office, or just want to update your wardrobe, the Stadium Shop has new stuff arriving all the time.
And we don't have to ask someone from corporate office to get something that hog fans want. We are the corporate office.
Hey, Matt, did you hear about the tree out in front of the store?
No, what about it?
I heard it's a bit shady.
Wow, you've got to leave these jokes alone.
Anyway, you can see the shady tree and all the hog stuff at 989 South Razorback Road here in Fayetteville. But not everyone can get to Fayetteville, so we've got one of those Google
Dad, again, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or they can call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
The Final Four is here, and you still have a chance to win great prizes in the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway by filling out a Final Four bracket. For contest rules and to fill out your Final Four bracket, go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge would not be possible without our presenting sponsors, Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks and Rogers. Check out all the prizes at hitthatline.com/bracket.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid 80s. The south wind will be gusty in the north up to 30 miles an hour. Increasing clouds tonight with an isolated rain shower possible across the north, lows in the low to mid 60s. Partly sunny on Wednesday with scattered rain showers in the north, highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You could drink beer.
The superior light beer for the social athlete.
Jerome, put on that Bobby Womack.
Nah, girl, I want to go way back. Oh, yeah, check this out.
3 now, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 trying to dribble, 2 seconds, 1 second, long
Jay with the ball. He is number 10. Swings inside with the top of the circle. Not there. Gets his own rebound. Puts it in. 3 seconds to go.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Eddie going the distance. Yes! Looks up. Driving in. Mary for the win. With 0.3 seconds to go. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins. It's Butler with 2 seconds. He's got
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson. This is the Morning Rush.
So we were talking credit cards earlier, and JT in Hot Springs, Texas, here at the Loose Automotive Group. Before his dad got injured, he had an Amex Black Card. Never seen one of those in person for both business and personal. He misses that card. Man, big time, JT, big time. 877-377-6963. Tom Murphy's going to join us coming up. We'll talk to Eric in just a sec. He has a thought on what can help the Arkansas Athletics Department. Before we do that, Burn Pools and Spas, great place that you can stop in, whether it's a pool, a spa, a sauna. They have it all at Burn Pools and Spas. They've been around since 1978. You're investing in your health and your well-being, and just a place for the kiddos to hang out, the family. You can help improve sleep and ease stress. Burn Pools carries the hot spring, the #1 hot tub, and they're offering Tylo saunas as well. With Burn, you're always going to have a trusted partner long after the sale. Burn Pools and Spas, water for a better life. 4 locations in Springdale, Greenland, Fort Smith, and in Hot Springs. BurnPools.com. All right, Eric, what is your helpful tip for the Arkansas Athletics Department here on this Tuesday?
Well, fellas, I hope you all are having a good day today. It's a nice and warm one. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. However, it is an idea. After watching this last weekend and the basketball team in the NCAA tournament and just all of the athletics, would it be a good idea if we as in the athletic department, I don't know, do team building exercises at least once a year? I don't know, get with the ROTC department, go run the whole team through their leadership courses. I don't know, go play laser tag for a day or something. Does the athletic department have a budget for that? I I don't know. I think it's a good idea just to get away from the sport that they're playing to kind of build, team unity. You know what I'm saying? Just as something to, you know what I mean? To make the teams grow together as a team, not based upon the sport that they're playing. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, Eric, a lot of times they do that. There's various different events and exercises that they'll do in the off season that aren't basketball related, obviously conditioning, but a lot of times, Arkansas basketball will post stuff about, hey, the team's doing this today, or they're doing this today. That's not a wild thought, and they've been doing that consistently, whether it's Musk, Cal, various other coaches, and football team, basketball team, baseball team. A lot of sports on campus do that.
Good. It's a great idea. I think the biggest thing that us as a university is missing is that team unit, that cohesion. You know what I mean? We're great. We have great individual players. We have amazing individual players. We need to work more as a team earlier in the season rather than later in the season. You know what I mean?
Basketball-wise, you had a pretty good team this year. They just got pounded by a better team. Arkansas had one of the best assist to turnover ratios in college basketball. When they had 20-plus assists, they won every game this year. I think when you play and lose to a team of the caliber of Arizona, which could go on and win the national championship, people have thoughts, right? Some people think there should be coaching changes. Some people, I'm not talking about Cal. Colton was talking about his assistants last week, or you point to other things. But guys, we just got beat by a better team. It's that simple. And hopefully, you got this Hall of Fame coach that's pretty set in his new ways of this 8-9-man rotation, which is fine. But in that 8-9-man rotation, you got to have a bona fide dude. Or we're going to be having this conversation next year when Jordan Smith and JJ and whoever else are probably going to enter the NBA draft. It's the weekend after the Sweet 16 Elite 8, and Arkansas is not going to be playing in the Final Four. It's just not going to happen. You cannot get to this point of the season without a bona fide big man. And I felt like the team had good chemistry. I was surprised at how good Malik and Darius worked together in that guard tandem. But I guess that shouldn't be, because Cal's had a number of good combo guards at both the point guard and shooting guard position over the years. The surprising thing, I think, for this team was that Nick Pringle didn't necessarily materialize to what you thought he was going to be, and Darius was just better than everyone thought. There's no one that thought Darius was going to be that good. Not the coaching staff. I don't even know if Darius thought he was going to be that good.
Well, he probably did, but yeah.
You think so? You think he was that confident to dominate the SEC in the way that he did?
Both of those two dudes, they dripped confidence from the moment that they got here. So I understand what you're saying, though. Like, did he think that he was going to be able to be the SEC Player of the Year, basically lead his team, break all these records? Probably not. But if you don't have that type of confidence every time you step out there, you're never going to be as good as you want to be.
Cal said they both could be presidents. We'll see if they've got a life in politics post-basketball.
Acuff and Thomas, 2032.
All right, let's talk to our buddy Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush.
We got something called beef. B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tom, we played a clip of you earlier, man, asking Joker about the Hot Wing Challenge. How far do you think you could get up in the Hot Wing Challenge, Tom?
Back in the day, probably up to about 4, maybe just put a little taste of 5 on there.
Okay.
But Joker also said 5 was the hottest. Nowadays, I probably would stick that to 3 and lower. I'm coming back from the throat situation, but not fully.
Tom, you had a chance to catch up with not only 2 secondary players yesterday, but also Coach Hicks and Coach Wilson. There's kind of a cool connection. Coach Wilson, initially a freshman when Hicks was a senior at Southern Miss. Now they're coaching on the same staff. I know they're excited to be back together. You're trying to find stories and tidbits in the offseason. I felt like that's one with 2 of your coaching staff members on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, that was a good one. And it was a smart pairing by Kyle to have. Obviously they're both DBs coaches, but the fact they were both great DBs at Southern Miss and overlapped each other by that 1 year, and that's what I wrote about today in 2009. It was Hicks's final season. He was already a well-established, veteran DB at that point, had already made All-Conference USA, and then Darren Wilson comes in and learns from him in 2009, learns the defense, and by 2011 they've got a Conference USA winning team, and Wilson's a huge part of that. His career path as a coach has gone a little bit faster, but they're both in a good spot. And I know you look at Arkansas football right now and go, okay, Silverfield came from Memphis, and these guys made their marks at Southern Miss. It's almost like Conference USA. I mean, Joker played at Tulane, and so there's a lot of Conference USA graduated to the SEC, and we will see how they will do. To me, it's about how interconnected can you be, how well can you play with each other. And I guess the shining beacon in all this is the fact that even though Arkansas was lacking in so many ways last year, with turnover margin, with the penalties that killed them in that one game, that they were so close to so many opponents, even teams that made the playoffs. They had beaten Tennessee the year before, a playoff team. They came within 3 of Tennessee this year. They came within 3 of A&M, a playoff team, and so on and so forth. And so if the right elements click into place, maybe they can be a team that, that impresses people next season. That's with its unity. And so many miles to go, but those are my impressions.
We're talking with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Last football question. Another story I didn't know about, this Braden Lee kid who started his career kind of out east, and apparently he was born in Little Rock. His dad's in the Navy. He's, I think, 2 decades worth of experience or being in the Navy, enlisted in the Navy. Kind of another cool story. Apparently grew up a Razorback fan. Had no idea about this kid, Tom.
Pretty interesting story he is. His dad was in the Navy. He's passed. And the family, like him watching Darren McFadden back in the day was like a thing, and celebrating, being around family who was happy with a Razorback win, and that made an impression on him. So it's those types of things that if you can get that extra little oomph from players, their reason, their why, maybe you become a better whole than the sum of your parts. And he and Lakai Rowland come over from Maryland, and will be 2, I'm sure, very key defensive backs in the almost completely. I mean, that's what that blows me away. Like 6-7 years ago, we would have never thought that you could replace almost your entire defensive backfield. And they really bring back Miguel Mitchell as the only scholarship guy. And so, there are a lot of working out to do, a lot of solving to be a better defense next year. But the more interconnectedness you can have, the better.
Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, moving on back to basketball, we were chatting with that before you came on. I know people are going to be kicking around the next few days. You've got Jordan Smith and J.J. Andrews competing in this McDonald's All-American game tonight. Dutour also coming in. Wondering when Darius will make his announcement, assuming Malik will as well. Of the guys that are still eligible to play college basketball, not named Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, who do you think, in your opinion, is coming back? I guess Malik Ewan's got to await that waiver. And who do you think could possibly move on from this team?
Right. Well, I don't know enough about what's in these guys' minds to tell you, and, the inner dealings that they have, how much NIL money would be available. I'd love to see DJ Wagner back. I'd love to see Richmond and Knox. I mean, that's the makings of a pretty good roster when you add those freshmen. And then, obviously, when you look at the roster and the sizes, this is what you guys were talking about. You got to have some big men. I mean, I've heard people in the media lamenting we've got to be stronger, more physical. And so having Ewing come back, he's got an edge to him, and sometimes I wish he would soften it up. The Kentucky technical foul being one is being over the line, but him being back would help you. You just need. I want to see a 6'9", 6'10" shot blocker, physical guy, an enforcer type who's got a little bit of skill around the basket be on this roster, and you need about 3 of them. And they had 2 last year, and as you said, Pringle didn't completely pan out. I mean, I think he was dealing with injuries basically all year. But when you see him matched up against an Arizona, where their big men were not only getting rebound, but they were skilled. I mean, they had a little bit of finesse around them in the paint. They were hitting little bank shots. Krivas comes to mind. Now, they didn't hit the same shots against Purdue in the first half, but that's what I mean. Guys who, yeah, you're going to be good at guard, you're going to be good on the wing, slashers, that kind of thing. But if you can complete the set with physical enforcing type rebounders, then you have a national championship contending team.
Talking with Tom Murphy here this morning. Tom, but before we move on to baseball, what are you going to remember about this basketball team that ended their season in San Jose? What comes to mind?
Well, what I'm really appreciative for, and Arkansas fans should be, is they won the SEC tournament title. And that doesn't come very often. That was only their second, going back to 2000. And they had a talent that, you saw him for 1 year. And I think Arkansas fans treasured the 1 year with Acuff. I mean, there's an outside shot. Malik Thomas comes back, or at least a decent shot. But the fact that you had Acuff on this team, and he had the season that he had, that will live in Arkansas lore. I mean, the scoring record for a freshman, player of the year, freshman of the year, first team All-American, just almost every honor you could get. And that he was such a selfless kid. And, you guys were discussing when I came on, did he think he could do that? What I think he thought was that he was up to the task of leading a premier team and competing at the very top level. And what came with that, let the chips fall where they may. But I think the confidence was there.
All right, baseball-wise, Tom, mid-major game tonight, you don't necessarily traditionally think of Missouri State as that type of ball club, considering how good they've been recently in the last decade plus. Arkansas and them have had some really good games, not just in the postseason, but the regular season as well. They've yet to lose at home this season, and you got Steele Eves on the mound tonight for his first start. What's going to happen later on tonight here in Springfield?
Well, I wish I was a seer enough to be able to tell you. I don't see Eves going more than 3, and that's if he's on. But the thing is, they've got to get their bats going. I mean, there's so many unresolved issues with this team. Does Pompey go back in the lineup at some point? I mean, he was struggling. You put him in. He gets a walk-off against Mississippi State. Then he really doesn't play a lot in 2 series later at home. And so there's a confidence deal that they need, and it's not going to be easy. Missouri State, as you documented, very tough at home. Beat Arkansas here last year in a unbelievably epic type of game, trailing by 5 in the 9th inning. Zach Stewart was part of that. And he's also not hit well in SEC play. So a lot of things on the line as you go into a weekend series at Auburn that starts on Thursday against a team that's also coming off a 3-game sweep at the hands of Alabama last week. It's going to be very hungry to get back online at home. Arkansas, you don't want this losing streak to start piling up. Winning tonight, I think, is really huge.
Do we have? I know your colleague Matt Jones has looked into this. Do we have an update on Ruiz, his MRI, or do you think we'll get that later on tonight post game?
Yeah, I looked about an hour ago. I didn't see anything fresh, and I'm not aware of anything breaking on that yet. I mean, obviously they have some type of response from what the MRI said. Dave at the time said it didn't look good. When you watch the replay of it, he jumps up at the wall. Maybe his knees bang the wall, and I think it was how he landed that is at issue. And so almost in a way you hate that he made the jump because it was pretty fruitless. I mean, I thought that ball was well out. But anyway, what happened. He's been a real key, and I think we'll find out in pregame what the resolution is with Ruiz, if not before that.
All right, Tom, before we let you go, we kicked this around earlier, Morning Rush Daily question. We asked the question, how many credit cards do you have? Some people responded 0. Some people responded 2 or 3.
I said 4.
Yeah, it's about to be 5, but I've got 4 right now, and I'm not going to use 2 of them. Tom, are you a credit card guy? Do you pay with cash? I know you've got a few years on me. How many credit cards do we have in that wallet right now?
Well, I really have 1 because that's where, you accrue your points. I have about 3. And there's a lot that goes into it. How many lines of credit you want open, what that does to your credit score. And that's the biggest thing, really, is to find out what it will mean to your credit score if you have an active card that you don't use, and then how you get your cash back or points. I'm not here to advise people on what's best for them. I just keep it kind of simple. I get a lot of I get hotel points, but I have been considering opening up another one to get a cash back type thing. So I'm really not the best suited guy to tell you, but you got to be maximizing. And my kids have asked me for advice on this. Maximize what you get back from it. And my deal has always been pay off your credit card amount, your balance each month if you can do that. And that's reflected well on my credit score over the years.
I thought you were going to tell me my kids always take my hotel points that I've. I thought that's where you were going towards. Tom, good.
I share them. Okay. I share them on occasion, Ty, and I think my kids are very.
He's a giver. He's a giver. He's a good father and a giver. Tom, good stuff, man. We'll chat on Thursday. Get more in this Final Four and national championship that awaits us this weekend.
Yes, we will. Always enjoy it, guys. Take care.
All right, Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. On a cattle ranch, calves are not only raised by their mother, they're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and vets committed to give them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle ranchers and farmers, the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is their top priority. Together we breed more. Beef. It's What's for Dinner, funded by beef farmers and ranchers, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. That's beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Colton, are you a giver with your credit card points? Do you let Gabby have those?
Yeah.
When you pile them up?
I put her phone number in for all the rewards that there possibly could be. I've been racking up Casey's reward points under her name for years, and we didn't even know about it. She didn't even know about it until a couple days ago. I told her, you can get like $1 off of gas, which is super clutch right now. So I've been racking up points for her for years. Anytime I go to Chick-fil-A, I have to put her phone number in. We go to Seven Brews.
You're just a giver. You're a giver.
That's me. That's me. Selfless. 100%.
Selfless guy.
Selfless.
It's just part of it. All right, we're going to get into our SEC update coming up. Will Wade back in the SEC, which we haven't gotten to this yet. Hey, I'd mentioned some NFL stuff. So I know this is a big story right now in the National Football League. Replacement refs hadn't done this since 2012. They're in the midst of doing that. It's not you call it a lockout at this point, or they're in negotiations?
I think when you get into the season, it's a lockout.
Yeah, and Super Bowl's coming back to Vegas, too, at the end of, 2026. We got 3 years till it's coming back in 29. I always think when I think about replacement anything, I think about the replacements with, why am I blanking? Keanu Reeves.
There you go.
And why do I want to say Don Haskins? Help me on the coach's name. That was coach of Hoosiers and the coach in that movie.
I just forgot
Goodness
his name, too. But
gracious.
I know you're talking about.
Yes.
Gene.
Gene Hackman. Thank you.
Hackman.
It took me a sec on that. But
great movie.
This whole replacement ref thing, like I've heard both sides of it. Pat McAfee was talking about it. I've heard officials talk about it. They want to be compensated and paid more. They feel like they haven't. They got to take a lot of grief. Listen, I give Tommy heck from time to time about officials. If Hurley had that Hurley thing was real, right?
It looked real to me.
Okay, and Greenberg was talking about yesterday at SportsCenter. If that happens at any other point of the game, he gets a technical foul. But you're not giving that guy a technical foul with 0.3 seconds left. Give that official credit from restraint. We've gotten to a point. We've talked about these brawls that have occurred in Arkansas high school sports. I will actually give Tommy some credence and some credit on this because he's right. We've gotten to the point where we think we could say, do, or whatever towards officials. And if they want to be paid more by the highest grossing league in all of America, then they should be. Yeah. Like, I get it from their vantage point because they get more crap in 2026 than they've ever gotten. And sometimes I'll withhold the anger and frustration towards an official, and sometimes I'll go scorched earth here on these airwaves, depending on how Arkansas may or may not have lost that football, basketball, or baseball game. I guess in baseball, in case it's an ump. But I understand it from their vantage point, and I think there'll be a lot of frustrated NFL fans and NFL players and coaches if the replacement refs are the ones having to officiate this upcoming NFL season.
That's where Tommy's been gone this past week. It's not spring break. He's been training to go up there and be a replacement ref.
In the NFL.
Wouldn't that be incredible? That would be the greatest thing ever. But no, with the replacement refs, you said 2012. Is that what you said the last time we had it? I think I remember vividly that Packers-Seahawks game where the ball came down in the end zone and one official was screaming touchdown and one official was saying, waving right here as an interception. I believe those were replacement refs at that time, too.
Yeah, you're right.
I have to be fact-checked on that, but that'd be the one thing that I would want to ensure with replacement officials is that there's no drop-off in the level of their ability to do their job. And that's one instance that I can think of and go through in the Rolodex, but You're right, Ty.
I forgot about that moment.
You're right, Ty. That nowadays we treat officials as like absolutely subhuman. Like they're not worth our time. They're dumb. They're unintelligent. They're not worth anybody's, the breath they even breathe.
Mhm.
But that's obviously not true. And that's all very compounded right now with the fact that you have a casino right there in your pocket that you can just bet on the game live. And the easiest person to point the finger at is the official whenever things don't go your way. So
Especially, you say, when you lose money.
it's exactly right. These people should be fairly compensated for what they do, and if anybody can afford to pay a little extra, it's the NFL. I mean, they're making money hand over fist over there. So I hope that this gets resolved before the season actually starts. You just don't want to have that mess looming over the season for the NFL, and you don't want the game to go into the hands of an official that has far less experience than the person that should actually be out there.
I agree with you on that. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by Modular Orange. If you need a professional website, they're right here in Fayetteville, and they help business owners across Arkansas. They'll write it, design it, and build it for just $95 a month. So instead of trying to deal with it on your own, have them do it. Give them a call at 479-755-3043 or visit modularorange.com today. Maybe you miss what they do and the price. $95 a month, no upfront cost or design fees. Write it, design it, build it, and maintain it for, again, just $95 a month. That's modularorange.com, 479-755-3043. Will Wade introduced it to PMAC. What does that mean for SEC basketball? We get into that next on a Time Travel Tuesday.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. We want kids that want to be here, that it means something to, because we talk about, hey, you're not just playing for the University of Arkansas, you're playing for the state.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Is a visor just so no one sees how ugly you are?
This is The Morning Rush.
Hey, Hawk fans, Phil Elson here for Bath Makeover of Arkansas, and they're looking for 50 homes to participate in their Spring into Savings event. 50 homeowners will receive test market pricing on a beautiful new walk-in shower. Bath Makeover is proud to be an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics, and they want to evaluate their exciting new product lines in real bathroom conditions, including revolutionary laser etched shower wall systems. You'll be compensated for your time just to determine if their exquisite product lines are the right fit for your bathroom project. The first 50 homeowners who call 1-800-NEW-BATH will receive 50% off installation of a new walk-in shower. Ask about 0% interest financing, senior and military discounts. Receive a $200 gas card with purchase and call Bath Makeover of Arkansas at 1-800-NEW-BATH to receive a $50 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate. 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Hey everyone, Wes Thompson here, General Manager of Moix RV Hot Springs Landing. The RV show is over, but we're going into overtime. We're slashing prices on the brands you love. Grand Design, Brinkley, Alliance, and more. Plus, right now, grab up to a $2,000 shopping spree on select units. Don't wait. Your next adventure starts at 2621 East Grand Avenue or online at moixrv.com. We have the RVs.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual.
Now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford, as well as heavy-duty diesel repair
and diagnostics.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about to be tough there, yes. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
You just add the win the tournament from Chuck there? Or was that in there yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. SEC update, Will Wade back in Baton Rouge.
And make no mistake, this is home. I wasn't born in Louisiana, but Louisiana's home for me, and me and my family. And so, you know, we're coming back to make history. We're going to make history one way or the other. We're coming back, like Dr. Roos said, to try to hang a banner, win a national championship, or I'm going to be the first coach fired from the same school twice. But one way or another, we're going to make history.
Man, they love him. They really do. And it's what now. Go ahead and tell our audience what you wrote down in our rundown here this morning.
What did I write down? I don't even remember.
LSU fans have no idea how painfully pedestrian this tenure at LSU is going to be.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I'm supposed to be excited about this. Like, Will Wade, he's a good coach. And
I like it for the theatrics.
Of course, that's the only thing. And, like, I don't think Will Wade understands that he's fourth chair. Like, he's not, like, he's the fourth person in the pecking order when it comes to who the AD listens to. It's Lane Kiffin, it's Coach Jay Johnson, it's Coach Kim Mulkey, and he's below those three. So I don't understand what this big ordeal is. Like, they put the LSU athletic department, I think that they understand that they look like absolute, like, insane people right now, but they did this whole thing, like General Will Wade, they had him in the AI Photoshop. It looked like a Revolutionary War general, all of his, you know, middle-of-the-road stats, all the things that he's done and everything. Look, Will Wade, he had some really good success here at LSU. He was able to, you know, get McNeese into the tournament last year. I think he's won 2 SoCon championships there. But, I mean, LSU acted like they just brought, Phil Jackson back, like, from retirement. Like, they acted like they just got, you know, one of the greatest coaches of all time to come in and coach for them.
The furthest
ridiculous.
distance is Sweet 16, right?
Yes.
In Baton Rouge.
SEC regular season championship in 2019. So, good for him. That's awesome. The SEC is not a basketball powerhouse. It certainly wasn't in 2019 either. So, this whole thing just makes no sense to me why LSU is just pretending like that their long-lost prodigal son who led them to championship after championship is coming back. Obviously, he's been the most successful coach they've had there in quite a while, and I understand that they're happy about that, but look, when it comes down to money and how the money gets funneled down, I'm sure him and Coach Kim Mulkey, they'll probably get an equivalent amount, but I'm interested to see if, you know, he surpasses her, because you're not going to hear anything but negative things from Kim Mulkey if, you know, the eyes are taken off of her attention when it comes to what goes on in basketball there at LSU. I don't think that Will Wade's going to have enough to actually compete at the level he thinks that he will, because I don't know that LSU is going to give him enough money. They're already forking over, $45-50 million to Lane Kiffin. Jay Johnson's probably got everything that he wants as well. LSU and Kim Mulkey, the women's basketball team, they're in the thick of the tournament. They've been in the thick of the tournament for years. As long as she's been there, she's probably got all the money she needs to pay those players. I just don't imagine that Will Wade's going to have as much success as people think that he will. And selfishly, I hope he doesn't. I really, really do.
Seth and Rogers wants to know who has bigger love handles, Will Wade or Kim.
Will Wade, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
really.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I always ask my buddies that live in Baton Rouge how they survive with the amount of food and alcohol that they consume. And it is amazing to me that anyone can be healthy. That's why Louisiana State, I think, is one of the unhealthy, Arkansas is too, but one of the unhealthiest states in all of the United States because the food is so good. I don't know how people just deal with that down there, to be perfectly honest.
Well, they're also 48th or 49th in education in the state of Louisiana too. So I'm sure that all the academics out there in Louisiana love to see them forking over more and millions and millions and millions of dollars to the football.
Do you see who's going to be a part of his staff?
Yeah, I saw
Johnny Jones, who coached Ben Simmons, and then Rick Stansberry, who was at Mississippi State. I think he was an assistant somewhere else.
Yeah.
For a while too.
If those two would have been, if they all would have been together the very first time that Will Wade was there, the FBI would have moved their headquarters to Baton Rouge. I mean,
just to check what's going on,
man. But Will, you had the other clip on there about him leaving NC State.
Oh yeah,
this is what
Philadelphia. I think some of the things have been mischaracterized on how I left, but I'm not going to get into I don't want to get it. I learned long ago. I'm not going to get into a back and forth on all of that. The people who need to know. And look, everybody has to, when there's a situation like this, everybody has to cover has to cover. Let's put it that way. And so I'm not, I'm at peace with how I left. I'm at peace with what we did. And, look, I mean, they're pretty mad for a coach they didn't think was very good. So, I don't,
pretty mad for a coach they didn't think was pretty good. Of course they're mad because they liken you to Jimmy Valvano. You sat there and took the picture from the same part of the stadium that he was. Everybody thought that you were the second coming to bring NC State back to the glory days of basketball. And you leave after 2 years. I understand that he was having to compete in a conference that has real traditional basketball powerhouses like Duke and North Carolina. But at the same time, you cannot sit there and say that. I mean, he basically said, you have to have people cover for you. You have to do this. I'm at peace with this situation. Of course you are. You're getting the pay raise. You're getting all the money you want. Of course you're at peace with the situation. The guy's a ball of slime, and I wish nothing but the worst for him as a coach. And that is LSU basketball has been an afterthought for years. I don't imagine that's going to change overnight just because Will Wade came back.
But here's what it does. I didn't get riled up. I didn't get juiced up or excited about playing LSU with Mac McMahon in charge. You going to tell me as an Arkansas fan you aren't a little bit excited when you go to Baton Rouge to play in the PMAC now, or they come here? You're telling me that's not a marquee game now on the schedule? That's why it's fun, because of that element to this.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, the coaches in the SEC, I mean, they're only getting better. I was talking to you about this off the air a little bit ago. I saw somebody on, Twitter from back in the day, talking about how they wish the cupcake SEC would come back. Because there's too many really good basketball coaches now that have all the money they want and are able to, do all the things that everybody else used to do now above the table. So, look, guys like Coach Cal and guys like Rick Pitino, these, the last Corleones, these Don John, these guys that have, been doing this for a long time, they were paying players for 40 years. That's why they're still in the game. That's why they're really, really good. So just because Will Wade can do it now, that doesn't mean that it's going to make things all of a sudden better there for LSU for basketball. Coach Wade is going to be, he's had success everywhere he's been. Like you said, it does make the Razorbacks versus the Tigers a much more interesting and intriguing basketball matchup. But I'm not expecting there to be some massive power shift in the SEC basketball now just because a coach came back.
All right, keeping your SEC update going. Gus Malzahn has been approved as a new member on the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. And then Oliver Ryu has apparently has entered the portal. That will officially open the 7th through the 21st, so he's announced his intentions. Jeff and Heber Springs asking if we should go after him. I don't think so. He's not mobile enough. He's probably going to end up in West Lafayette playing for Matt Painter at Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to end up somewhere like that. Like you said, playing for Matt Painter, somebody that has an affinity for Giants. But the kid can't move around. Like, he's 7'9", and that's awesome, and he can stick his hand up, and he's already 11 feet tall. Like, that's great. But if someone can just dribble right around you, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I think that he was a nice project there for Florida, but if Florida, who's basically, cornered the market on having just a full lineup of 6'10" guys run out there, if he can't make it on the floor for Florida, and you're 7'9", and you don't fit into that system, it's not because of the fact that, he's not good enough. It's not because of the fact that he's, doesn't fit their bill. It's because he's not good enough. Guys like that are that tall, supreme, like giants like that, they don't have any muscle mass on them, hardly at all. And that dude's probably got very, very little. He can't move around. Like you said, he's not mobile or functional enough to do what a high-level basketball team would probably need him to do. This kid was fantastic while he was here. He was nothing but a great person to all the fans and everybody else. But this is very similar to the Connor Vanover situation. Vanover had a little bit of skill. He could move around. He could shoot the outside shot. But there were still times where you felt like, man, that kid's so tall he can barely move around. It's the same thing with Ryu, and he's 4 inches taller.
All right, that is your SEC update this morning, brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. I know we love our Arkansas game days. And Joe's Grill and Cantina, you're going to get half-price apps and cheap taps. They always have the happy hour deals from 3 to 6. Plus, they've got the great daily specials. I got to still try that hot salsa. Still haven't had a chance to get that yet. They always have something good at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Their salsa's really, really good, and you're always going to get great fajitas, great burritos, tacos. It is Tuesday, by the way, so take advantage of that. Joe's Grill and Cantina across from Harps on 74th Street in Fort Smith. This has got to be fake, something I just read. This is from Spa City Scoop. This can't be real. It's an account that has 16. It's got to be, it's got to be this fake. That Carnival Cruise has announced a Lake Hamilton launch. Inland Waterways had selected its first location for the new luxury lake cruise program. Invitations will be extended to nearby cities, including Little Rock, Malvern, and Pine Bluff. I guess that's just a spoof account.
That would be incredible.
That is pretty funny.
That'd be incredible. Could you imagine a full-size cruise ship out there on Lake Hamilton? I mean, there's some pretty big boats out there already, but a full-size cruise ship, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
love to see that.
Yeah, I've
never been on a cruise. Have you?
No,
I don't have any desire to go on a cruise.
Haven't been on one. That's not my cup of tea.
No,
I've heard horror stories about the people that are on them, and I like the people watch is one of the best. This is going to sound very alcoholic-y, but just don't take it as this. For the first time ever, I drank by myself in Portland, and I just went to the bar and was just sitting there. Keep in mind, I didn't have 10 drinks. I had 2. And I was watching, I forget what night it was, just watching some of the games. And just the especially in Portland, Oregon, just some of the interactions that you see with people is quite entertaining. I'm a pretty social, friendly guy, so I'll talk to anyone, doesn't matter who you are. And that is
you didn't mischaracterize anybody, right? You didn't.
No, I don't think so. No one yelled at me or anything. Josh says, want to throw hands on Lake Hamilton, come join the Carnival Cruise.
That's what it would turn into. It would just
I
turn into a
can't
massive
I
brawl.
can't imagine. That's great. I guess I'd not come across that Facebook group before. That's pretty good. Oh man, that's pretty good. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by J. Pauli Toyota. Special savings going on right now in Fort Smith. 0% APR for 72 months and up to $7,000 in rebates on select models. J. Pauli Toyota, where no payments until May. 0 down with approved credit and all credit applications accepted. Plus, again, the certified Toyotas are backed with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. J. Pauli Toyota, exit 11 at I-540 and 0 Fort Smith. Visit jpaulitoyota.com. That's jpaulitoyota.com. Mentioned a little bit earlier, Arkansas basketball. Well, you don't have any action until, I guess, October in the exhibition and November when the season will actually begin. You can watch 2 future Razorbacks in J.J. Andrews and also Jordan Smith, who were on during the McDonald's All-American game. And it was cool to listen to both those guys yesterday who were very well-spec'd. I've said this, and I'll say it again. The 2 best high school athletes we've ever had on these airwaves, in my opinion, are Kane Archer and J.J. Andrews. It's not close. A lot of high school kids are nervous or they can't put their thoughts together, kind of like me. But those 2 kids sound like they've been in either the NFL or the NBA for 10 years. And while J.J., we're not about to play a J.J. clip, Jordan Smith is also very well-spoken, excited about the number 2 prospect coming to Fayetteville and getting a chance to watch him play. He mentioned the conversations that he's had with Darius Acuff.
Arkansas, it's really about you. Like, you got to put the work in. Is really what you're willing to do. Especially Darius Acuff. I've talked a lot to him about, the position and how Coach Calipari really pushed him. And he told me that it's really just his work ethic, and Coach Calipari is going to put him in all the uncomfortable positions, going to lead him on. But it's really just about what Acuff puts into the work and what they can expect from me and JJ, or I can't really speak for JJ, but what can they expect from me from coming as an All-American? Is just like I said, just really just want to win at a high level. I want to make an impact on the tournament. I want to make the tournament. I want to get farther than they were this year, and really just win, because I feel like when you win, everybody gets what they want. I was taught that at a young age, and really just have fun in college.
Cal's talked about that before. When we win, everyone eats. And what he means by that is when Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, so Marcus Teague, I think it was Deron Lamb, Darius Miller. I think he had 6 guys drafted on that 2012 national championship team. He's talked about it. You're going to get the most attention paid to you because you're the farthest and longest-lasting team in the tournament. And not to say that Darius and Malik are getting drafted because they, again, exited maybe a little earlier than we wanted to in the Sweet 16, but there is some truth to what Jordan just said, Cal's just said, and I'm excited to get these kids on campus. Can he be Darius Acuff? Probably not. I really do believe that no one on that campus, maybe outside of Darius, thought he was going to be that good. But when you have the physicality that Cal's talked about with those two, plus Abdul Toure, just ready for this. I'm ready for this basketball season. Be here already.
It'll be really exciting. And, we talked to Kevin McPherson last week just about, some of these guys and what they're going to do. And one of the things that I was really looking forward to about next season is the fact that, Kevin told us that this next year, it's going to be probably a defensive-minded team. You're going to have a lot of guys, like we've already talked about this morning, that are super long, very athletic, that should be able to defend and then defend well, and not just their position, but multiple positions. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to next year, is maybe just a complete inverse of what we saw this past season, where you are outscoring everybody and your defense is just, is not having to worry too much about it because you're outscoring everyone. It'd be nice to have several lockdown defenders on the court at the same time next year, and I think you're going to get that with some of these freshmen that are going to be able to come in here and use their size, their advantage, and their natural athleticism. So, of course, all the guys that you have left over too, they can be really solid defenders in their own right. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to as well. But man, Jordan Smith Jr., J.J. Andrews, Abdul Toure, are they going to be as good as Darius Acuff? No. I mean, like we said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, once-in-a-generation athlete that we see here, that we got to see here. But maybe all 3 of those guys together every night can pour in the same amount that Darius Acuff did. Maybe all 3 of those guys together can make the difference in the game whenever it really needs to. Maybe all 3 of those guys together can be involved in a last-second play that puts you over the top against a conference rival, that sends Will Wade home crying with his hands on his extremely wide hips. Like, that's one thing that I'm looking forward to.
All right, that's gonna. We got to hit a break. We got our CJ's Trivia Tuesday coming up. We got Gaston's White River Resort also to tell you about. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Gaston's is an awesome time. I mean, you think about the memories and experience that you want to have with your family, friends, whoever. Well, this is the place to do it. You can bring your coworkers. You can bring your staff. This could be a family weekend. Maybe it's just you and your significant other.
Team building.
Yeah, team building. This is what my parents like to go do. They don't even fish. They just see the nature. Go to Gastons.com. Check out their Facebook, their photos, their videos. It's all awesome at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Man, I mean, shoot, we're dogs.
This is the Morning Rush.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cook. So when you try the mini taco salad, beef potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip. Enjoy the looks. Just don't let it go to your head.
Bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Let's Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive. Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris George from Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville. You need a jeweler you can trust to do all the things that you need, like repairs or custom work or one-of-a-kind treasures, spring gift occasions. We have affordable gifts for every need. Quality natural diamonds, beautiful lab-grown diamonds, silver and natural stones, chains, necklaces, rings, whatever you need. Come see us at Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple burgers?
Those are good burgers, Walter.
Archer Burger. My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll...
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All eyes be on Knight and what he wants to do here. He wants to go for the tie. He's got it. 37 seconds. And usual screens. This is Day with the ball. He is number 10. Swings inside with the top of the circle. Not there. Gets his own rebound and puts it in. 3 seconds to go. And timeout has been called by Jim O'Brien's Dayton Flyers. They're down. Howard throws it up high. Ball is free. Arkansas advances. It'll be Arkansas and North Carolina with an appointment in Dallas.
All right, so after the Mullins kid hit the three-pointer to send UConn to another Final Four, I was kind of doing some research not only about Arkansas buzzer beaters, but other buzzer beaters. And you heard Todd Day hitting a second-round buzzer beater against the Dayton Flyers back in what year of the NCAA tournament? 877-377-6963. You've got a call to win a $25 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, which I want to congratulate Keith Wilson. I feel like I have to do this every single year. They just won the best burger in Northwest Arkansas by the 2025 Best of the Best NWA. That's 3 of the last 4 years. Thanks to everyone who went out and
It's a
supported
dynasty.
him. It's CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Honestly, their fries are the best. Their shakes are the best. It's all the best. But again, it's not what you text in, Scott, and you got to call in at 877-377-6963.
Was the original
What
question
year?
what team it was, and then
Yeah.
I screwed it up?
No,
because I
you
left
didn't.
The team in,
You didn't
in
screw
the
it,
bit right
Gavin.
there.
You're on too. I just told you to pull the clip, and yeah, it was going to be the team, but then we had to, as you said on the fly. I told you to pull the clip. It's my own fault. Nate, you're correct. You could have won a $25 gift card to CJ's, but you didn't call in. Again, we gotta, and I know some of you can't call in. You're at work or doing whatever. All right, who we got?
We
Colton?
got Clinton from Clarksville.
All right, Clinton. What is the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday? What year? Clinton?
What year, Clinton?
1990.
That's correct, buddy.
1990.
$25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card is headed your way. 1990. Second round. Final Four team. What would have happened if he hadn't made that? Luckily,
Headed to
Todd Day
Dallas.
is clutch, and like you said, you went to Dallas, Texas after that to play North Carolina. All right, for Colton Little, I'm Ty Richardson. That's going to do it for the Morning Rush. Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C is next.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad. Crappie fishing's #1 selling